This is number 3 in the Simply Guitar series, and as promised, finally, here we are. We're going to work on chords tonight, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on the major chords, and we're going to go straight through them, show you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the major chords, and I'm going to show you how to make them, which strings to play with each chord, and I'll show you a variation or two here and there on some of them if you want to start with the variations, which might be a good idea for you to get started that way and work it out. So anyway, we're gonna get in on the guitar here where you can actually see what I'm doing, and you're going to have the chord diagram right up here to help you out. And so here we go. Okay, I want to just a quick reminder about getting inside of these fret bars. You don't want to be on the bar. You got to be very careful of that when you're making your chord. You got to make sure that finger is inside of it so you don't get any buzzes or you don't slip over into the next one. Okay, and I'm going to show you which strings we're going to hit with each chord. So, alrighty. So here we go. Let's start out on A. And 1. Here's your fingers. You know them. You've done them all your life. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Finger 1. This is an A. And remember, we're counting from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the frets are 1, 2, 3, 4, on and on. So inside the frets. We're not counting the fret bars. You want to stay inside the fret bars. And for example, we're in the 2nd fret. Everything here is in the 2nd fret. As you can see, this is an A. And what we got going here is the first finger goes on the 4th string, 3rd one from the top, 4th string, inside the 2nd fret. 2nd finger on the next string down, which is the 3rd string, inside the 2nd fret. And the 3rd finger on, it's a little hard for you to see this, I know. Yeah, there's going to be a diagram here. You can look at it too. It's inside of that fret there. You see that? All 3 of those. This is on the 2nd. The 3rd finger is on the 2nd string, the next from the bottom string. And notice I'm not touching the bottom string, because if I were touching it, I'd be getting that thing. So remember what I told you early on. These fingers have to be pointing straight in. They have to be horizontal. You don't want them leaning like that. If these top knuckles are leaning, then you're going to get buzzes. And also your hand up here, if it's touching any of the strings like that, see that? See, I'm not touching anything but that finger. In the process of making this chord, it's very easy for you to get down on that string. You don't want to do that. So, first finger, 4th string, 2nd fret. 2nd finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. 3rd finger, 2nd string, 2nd fret. Okay, this thing ain't doing anything. It's just kind of floating around out there. They're pointed in to where I'm not hitting anything outside of there. This bottom here is not touching that bottom string. Lets it ring. You see, this one's not touching this top, this 5th string. letting it ring, and none of these are touching each other. Because if this finger were to get up against that string, for example, this middle finger here, the second finger, if it was to get up on this string where this, the fourth string where this first finger's at, see what you got? You got to make sure that the fingers are only touching the strings they're supposed to be touching. Okay? Now on an A like this, you don't want to hit the top string, right? You hit the fifth, fourth, third, second, first. Okay, you got that? That's what it should sound like. Fifth string down. Okay, so you got that, and you got the diagram there. And at my website, I'll post a diagram for you too, so you can go look at it anytime you want to. Okay? Alright, that's it for an A. Except there is a variation on an A, which to me is the way I play an A. It's the way I've played an A for years. It makes it a whole lot easier to play the A. But there's a trick to it, and that's not touching that bottom string. You place your middle finger on this from the fourth, third, and second string. It's got it. See how it's folding back? I don't know if you can see that from that angle, but that at this knuckle, it's folding back out away from the guitar, so that that's not hitting, but it's folding back. No, not too soon, because it's got to be holding that second string down. And same thing. So you're in the fret, and you're hitting the bottom 5 strings. And see, I'm not touching this string, and so I'm holding it all down with that one finger. And your fingers are going to get sore. I doubt if you can see that. You might can there. You see those lines on my fingers? Those are dents. And playing the guitar will put dents in your fingers, but after a while the pain passes. I'm not talking after a few minutes. After a few minutes the pain gets worse, right? But after you've done this for a while, the pain will eventually move on. Okay? Now that to me is the easiest way to make an A. See, it's all in that fret. And remember what I told you about this wrist thing going on back here. If you're way down here trying to get this thing, you're not going to be able to get that. You got to get your wrist just right. And see how my hand is kind of cupped behind here. Thumb's kind of hanging over the top. And you see that? Okay, that's an A. There it is. And remember this first one. If you want to do it this way, there's nothing wrong with that. First finger, second finger, third finger. On the fourth string, third string, second string. In the second fret, not touching anything around it. Each finger is only touching the string it's supposed to. Okay, there you go. That's an A. That's all there is to it. Now, here's one of those chords that I told you about. This that you've been warned about. This is one of the hardest chords for beginning guitar players, even if they've been playing for quite a while. This one's something that nobody feels comfortable with. It's basically just like an A, the first way I showed you, except instead of using the first finger, you're using the second, third, and fourth in the fourth fret. You see that? I'm in the fourth fret down. And they're all inside there. They're all scrunched inside, right? And then, here's the trick. This first finger has to go on the bottom string, and it's got to be in that fret. And if you can see my thumb is pulled down here almost to it's in the lower half of the back of the curve in the neck. I'm down more under the neck with my thumb putting that pressure on there. And this is a B, and this is one of the hardest chords. So you got your first finger on the first string in the second fret, and make sure it's not hitting on that bar, you know, or slipping into this third one, because that's not right. It's the second fret. Second finger is on the fourth string in the fourth fret. And this one's going to take you some stretching, some work, but you will get used to it. It will start happening for you, okay? And then the third finger is on the third string in the fourth fret, and the last finger, the fourth finger, is on the second string in the fourth fret. All these three are in the fourth fret. That one's in the first fret. You can see the diagram. You can see what I'm doing. And note, you know, I'm inside of there. If I was a little off, you know. Okay. And two, this one works basically the same way. This goes the fifth, fourth, third, second, first strings. You don't hit the top string on a B. Okay, that's how you got there. There you got a B. Now we're going to go to a fairly easy chord. Give you a break here. This is a C. Okay, C's are fairly comfortable. They're a little bit of stretch to them, but they're comfortable. Remember, get that wrist around and get those fingers pointed horizontally into where you're not touching anything except what you're supposed to be touching, okay? On a C, your first finger goes in the first fret, second string. Make sure you're not touching that bottom string with it leaning like that, okay? And your second finger, you skip a string and you go into the next fret and you're on the fourth string. So the third string's open. There's nothing happening on that third string. And make sure that this one ain't touching it or this one ain't touching it, because it'll mute it. Okay, so first fret, first finger, second string. Second finger in the second fret on the fourth string. Third finger in the third fret on the fifth string, and this one's just floating around. Don't be fooled by depth of field here. It's not touching anything, okay? And that's your C. And you only touch you only strum the bottom five strings with the C, okay? You don't hit that top string. So there you go. There's a C. Now, so pretty, that's what yours should sound like. No buzzes, and it's going to take you a little while and build up a little strength. And my thumb is kind of about halfway down that curve in the back to give me the strength to push all these down, to clamp them on into those frets, and make sure you're in the frets properly and not on the bars, okay? Alrighty, there's your C.